Long ago, in a land now called Guyana, the Great Watcher in the heights was lonely. So the Great Watcher breathed into the mighty Kumaka tree and made the leaves fall. The leaves fell and became animal life, plants, trees, and people. The water moved and became the veins for all life. The Great Watcher smiled and was lonely no more. The Great Watcher wished for the ceremony to last forever, and I was made the guardian of the lifeline. Thousands of years passed, and then one day, strange sounds disturbed the Great Watcher. The sounds filled the Great Watcher with such sorrow that a tear fell from the Great Watcher's eye and rested upon a leaf. The Great Watcher looked deep in the tear's reflection and saw a strange creature. The Great Watcher felt pain. Trees fell long before dying. Animals ran. The skin of the earth was torn apart. The Great Watcher was sad and asked me, "Who are these invaders?" I answered, "They're not from my people. They come from far away. Some have told me they will bring new wealth to the people. They use the land for industrial harvesting and industrial mining." The Great Watcher was angry and said, "I made you the guardian of all my creation. You must control them for me. They bring poison to the lifeline." Guyana is a country the size of England on the northern coast of South America. It borders Brazil, Venezuela, and Suriname, and is the only English-speaking country in South America. Guyana's coast is 2 meters below sea level. Dutch technology was incorporated, and a seawall with a canal system created rich land for agriculture. 95% of Guyana's 800,000 people live on the coastal belt. Georgetown is the largest city. Guyana was first settled by the Dutch and then the British, who made it a sugarcane plantation colony. Until abolition in 1838, slaves were brought as workers from West Africa. After abolition, indentured laborers were brought from India to work the plantations. These two features of the plantation system, slavery and indenture, created the population of modern-day Guyana, divided between two major races. People from the coast never settled in the vast hinterland. The interior of Guyana, comprising extensive rainforests and savannas, are home to 9 indigenous tribes. 40,000 Amerindians live in villages scattered throughout the interior. For centuries we practiced subsistence horticulture, hunting, fishing, and some animal husbandry. Recently, Amerindians who have the skills and knowledge of the area have become part of the labor force for extractive industries, such as gold and diamond mining and forestry. Multinational companies have been given large concessions for these industries. Many of these concessions are located near or on our land, resulting in conflicts of land rights as well as health and social disturbances. Barama is a Malaysian South Korean-owned company, harvesting trees for plywood production. Their concession covers an area half the size of Belgium, 1.7 million hectares. The financial return to Guyana from sales is almost nothing. The concession overlaps the land of 1,200 Amerindians. People from these communities feel they're foreigners in their own land.
When we make the contract with the government, we make the contract, the sign with the government. But the indigenous people's land titles entirely belong to the government's matters. It's no relation with us.
The Omai Gold Mine is located along the Omai and Essequibo rivers. The Canadian owners of the mine began industrial gold production in 1993. The Omai Gold Mine is one of the largest in South America. The mine covers an area of 30 square kilometers. The Canadians have ownership of 95% of the mine's output. The Guyana government owns 5%. The mine is in production 24 hours a day, extracting about 16,000 tons of rock per day. The rock is crushed and cyanide, which attracts heavy metals, is used to remove the gold from the crushed rock. 1 ton of crushed rock yields 2 grams of gold. In the past 2 years of operation, the mine has produced 500,000 ounces of gold. The waste material with cyanide is stored in a reservoir called a tailings pond. On 19 August 1995, the dam of the reservoir containing the waste material breached, sending millions of liters of sludge laced with cyanide into the Omai and Essequibo river system. It took over 3 days to stop the flow of chemical waste.
When the prophet Moses struck the rock, out came water. When Omai struck the rock, we got depth. Yeah!
We never use that dirty color water to bathe. We never use it to drink. Why? Just to give Omai the preference of operating. We must be told this water at the world news condemning this water.
I cannot take that color water even though I boil it and drink it. It's hard. It's very, very hard.
The Guyanese government declared a 150-kilometer area of the Essequibo River a disaster area. The 5,000 people living along the river were told not to use the water for drinking, bathing and animals. Clean water had to be brought into the whole area. After 10 days of testing, the ban was lifted.
Yesterday morning on the radio we heard that they gave us guidelines which we should live by. Don't bathe in the river, don't eat the fish, don't use the water for drinking purposes. And this morning in the news we heard that it was safe. My question is, what difference does 24 hours make?
The Ministry of Health now says that you could drink the water, right? But would you drink the water?
No, as for my opinion, I wouldn't drink that for next month or half. I don't believe so. If the minister wants, he could come and drink that for us, and I go after him.